And I need to share my screen. Hi everyone. So this is the whole Utpal Sangvi group, huh?
Hi, Bhawisha.
Okay. So hi, was that Saloni? Because I have pinned my video, so I can't see you.
Hi, I'm here. Thank you so much for taking out the time and doing this for us. This is going to be so useful to all of us who are kind of wondering, how do we navigate through this, especially with our different curriculum that we have. And I know a lot of parents have been wanting to know a lot on this topic. So I thought you're the best person to take us through this. So thank you for your time, Bhavisha.
Most welcome, and I enjoy this. That's the only reason I'm doing it. In fact, what I'm going to do, Salome, see, we had almost about 80 registrations, 80, 82 or something like that. But I'm not going to wait for everyone, because for those people who have been on time, I think they should get the benefit of it. Yeah. Plus, the recording is there. It's not that I don't want to wait. The recording is there. So we will send the recording to all those participants who have registered anyways. Huh? So for the benefit of those who are there, let's start, and people will keep joining. This is India. I have also disabled the waiting room, so everybody can just enter in. Yeah. Just give me 1 second. Smita, can you hey on karna hai to. So first of all, I'll just tell you a little bit about me. Can you see my screen? Because I'm going to be sharing a lot of information.
Yes, your screen is visible to me.
Okay. Now, if for parents, those who want to pin it to my screen so that then you see the information I'm giving clearly. I mean, not this is just my picture, but later the information that comes. Now, just I want to make it very clear, first of all, that I am not a counselor. Okay. I am not into counseling. I'm not into teaching 11th, 12th or mentoring or anything like that. I am a doctor. I'm a homeopathic doctor for the past 25 years. And that's me. I do a lot of my own teaching, which is purely medical and homeopathic, only and only based for doctors. These are the books that I have written. I have written about 8 to 9 books. So my husband and I both are in this for the last 25 years, and we are partners in crime. So all these books we've written together, which have been translated into various languages. So I have a complete homeopathic medical background for the past 25 years. Okay. What happened in the last, in 2019, when my son just entered into 10th grade. Okay. And 2020 was when he gave his 10th grade through Jamnabai. Okay. He was in the ICSE board. Okay. And this is my son right now that you can see, Swayamj Joshi. And he topped Jamnabai also. He was the second topper with a 98.6. And then he is now in IIT. He cracked the BITSAT, the MHT-CET, all those exams. The reason I am doing this is because I did a lot of research from 2019 until 2022, until my son got into IIT Bombay. Okay, this is him performing. Just 2 weeks ago, he was part of a band that performed at the Convocation Hall in IITB for its flagship event. And that's him. He was one of the best solo guitarists. So that's my son. And the reason I do this is because now I have a lot of information and also a lot of experience of these past 3 years. And I thought, when you've gone through such a grueling journey, then it's very fulfilling to just share it with parents or younger parents who want to learn from it. Okay. So, and it gives me a great nostalgia because now he's so busy. He's just gotten in last year, 2022. So this is his first year in IIT Bombay. And he's so busy because there's so much in campus out there. He hardly comes home, obviously, even though he's in Powai. But for my husband and me, it's a trip down memory lane when we are mentoring or helping other parents or children. So it's also nostalgia, and we've always done a lot of charity events, helping and things. So this is just part of what I'm doing. So parents, this has nothing to do with any kind of professional gain, or I am not doing it from the point of view of a counselor, just purely my experience. Now we come to something very important. So see, today, so what Saloni told me is that what you all want to know, just a second. Yeah, what you all want to know. I think most parents here are from Utpal Sangvi or from other IG. Some may be from ICSE boards, but mainly it's the IG board parents. And the children are either in the 9th or the 10th grade, mostly 9th grade. So the first thing that I do want to tell you all is, this is the right time to wake up. It's not very good, it still works, but the earlier the better. Yeah, so even if in the 9th and 10th you invest enough time in trying to find out what's available in the market, you try to find out what your child likes, I think that's a very important time you're investing these 2 years. So first thing that I would like to say is, congratulations, very good. You have started thinking that's the right path. I am going to be telling you more about the Indian entrance exams, the engineering and the medical, that's mainly the JEE and NEET. Also, I'll tell you a little bit about the others, the boards to choose, and what you need for these 2 years. Okay, so this is what we're going to focus on. Now, remember, one first myth that I want to bust is, a lot of parents think that the Indian national exams, I'm not talking of the 11th and 12th board exams, I'm talking about the entrance exams, like the NEET, the JEE main, advanced, UCED, the NATA, which is the architecture, every Indian, a bit SAT, of course. The Indian entrance exams are rigorous, they are competitive, and they teach children a lot of things. They teach them management of time. They teach them decision-making skills. They teach them how to be disciplined, how to be persistent, how to learn from failures. So I don't think that these entrance exams are only about the result that you get at the end of 12th grade. Yeah, it's also about what your child learns in these last 2 years. I mean, in these formative years, not last 2, it was last 2 for my son, but in these years. So if you have a feeling that the Indian entrance exams are rote learning, then please, that is not the case. Okay. Yes, the 11th and 12th has a lot of rote learning, but that's how our state board has always been. Yeah. But the entrance exams are much more application-based, question-based, and they are about solving, and they are about testing your concepts, your skills, and your decision-making and your management of time. So please remember that. So if you're choosing these Indian exams, then they are definitely going to give you some benefit, or give your child rather some benefit. That's the first thing. However, I must also tell you that you have 2 years now. Also look at SAT, going to either UK, so A levels, or also look at US, Australia, Canada. So if you are thinking, look at everything and then make your choice. We also did that. In fact, my husband and I were very clear that we would be sending Swayamj abroad, because that's what, we've always traveled, even being in school at Jamnabai, I was always getting these leaves, and we were traveling for our events and holidays, and he would travel with us. So I had no clue that he would actually, it was only in 9th grade when he said, Mama, no, I'm very clear. By the end of 9th grade, he said, I'm very clear. I want to work for IIT entrances. So even we were more, looking at the overseas options as well. But then he chose this. So then I completely changed my research to the Indian side. Okay. So you look at both of these and see what is best for you. Today, we'll talk about the Indian side first. Now, Okay. So which are these exams? Yeah, let's go for that. ये क्या आ रहा है? Okay. Go next. So on the biology side, you have mainly the NEET exam. Okay, there's one, I'll tell you, I won't say it's a flaw, but it's a kind of a thing where for engineering, there are several exams because you can get into several different institutes. But for the medical, the paramedical, the biology line, we mainly have the NEET exam, which then takes you into all the different spheres, including the pharmacy. For pharmacy in Bombay, in Maharashtra, sorry, you also have a specific exam, which is MHT-CET Bio, which gets you into the Maharashtra pharmacy colleges. So this is the entrance exam that if your child wants to pursue either medicine or physiotherapy or dentistry or occupational therapy or pharmacy, whatever, the dentistry I also mentioned. So then the NEET becomes the major exam to give. NEET also helps you with ISER. I will come to that later. And MHT-CET. Okay, so these are the biology exams. Which are the next one? Now we come to the engineering national exams. The engineering national exams, JEE main is something that you all know. You see posters everywhere. Yeah. Every time the results are out, you see the newspaper is full of these kind of, children's pictures and everything. So that's the JEE main, which gives you entrance into different NITs, triple ITs, GFTIs, yeah, and also state level colleges, which is our Maharashtra state level colleges and also our Bombay colleges, yeah, which is, all the private colleges that you have around here, the Mukesh Patel, DJ Sangvi, Kachi Anchor, I don't know, all those kinds. That's your JEE main. That gives you entrance into all of these. The BITSAT, which will give you entrance into BITS Institute, the three major ones. There's also a BITS in Pilani, in Dubai, but I think it's a private one. What I would be interested in, the real good BITS, and those are Pilani, Goa, and Hyderabad, not the Dubai one. But that's me, okay? So these three, the BITSAT gets you into these three bits. The JEE Advanced, okay? Now this is the tough one, which gets you into IIT, which is the main engineering and the most, prestigious name. It also gets into ISER. Now, ISERs are research institutes, remember. So those of you children, parents whose children want to go into research, into pure sciences, I would suggest ISER is a very good choice. There are different ISERs all across the country. Now, if you just go online, you're going to get much more detail than what I am telling you. I'm just exposing you to what you do need to look into. Then you have IIST and IISC. Okay, JEE Advanced also gets you into IIST. This is, I think, the Indian Institute of Space Sciences and Technology, which is also, in a way, it's under ISRO. So this is also another very good one, a very recently started institute, IIST, but you do have to give the tough JEE Advanced exam to get in there. And the reason I'm mentioning this is there were some couple of parents who asked me about space science, not asked me, but had this question in the registration. So for those parents, if they are listening, then for space sciences, you have IITs, of course, which have IITs and NITs also, which have a course called aerospace engineering. But you have to give JEE main and JEE Advanced for those, right? And IIST will also take you through JEE Advanced. Okay. IISc is a very, very prestigious institute for scientists. So if your child is into, again, research and development and pure sciences, IISc Bangalore, one of the very prestigious ones. Then, of course, you have the MHT-CET, which is the Maharashtra colleges. Okay. So the children who are into NEET or BioLine have only one major exam to prepare for. The children who want to opt for the PCM branch, the mathematics branch, have all these different exams. But remember one thing, the portion is almost the same. I'll come to the syllabus. Okay. So in engineering, in fact, there is an added advantage that you have several options. In NEET, unfortunately, you don't. But of course, you can give NEET again and again. And also with engineering entrance exams, I'll come to that. You can give them more than once. So it's fine. But you can see that you also have a lot of options. Now, these are some, I'm going to go quickly through this because again, I'm telling you, I'll send a PDF of this information. This is not so important. NPAT is an exam that gets you into NMIMS engineering colleges, Manipal Group, MET, and Manipal in the beginning, like 10 or 20 years ago, did not have a great, I mean, not 20, but 10 years ago, did not have such a great standing. Today, they are very well known. So these are private colleges, but then the Vellore Institute of Technology, this is the exam, the VIT EEE, the SRM colleges, which are also very famous. The exam is SRM JEE. Then, if there are children who are interested in maths, statistics, there are some children who are very good with maths and statistics, and that has a great value today with data analysis, artificial intelligence, and a lot of finance-based industries as well. So you can look at the ISI, which is the Indian Statistical Institute of Calcutta. The exam is ISI admission test. You can also look at the Chennai Mathematical Institute, which is the CMI admission test. I'll give you this PDF, don't worry. Okay, otherwise you must be thinking, oh my God, this itself is so much of rote learning. Okay. So these were the different exams I told you. I told you about the NEET, the JEE Advanced, the MHT-CET and all that. Now there are some other exams also. If you purely want to go into research, then you give the KVPY. Yeah, the KVPY gets you into, as I told you in the earlier slide, it gets you into IISc and it also gets you into IISER. Now these are purely research-based institutes. So more for pure science than engineering or the corporate world. IISc and IISER you also get in if you have a very good score in your NEET and JEE Advanced. Okay, so there are 2-3 avenues through which you can get into IISc or IISER. Then IISER also has another direct admission test. I myself have a couple of people within our family who have got into IISER not through the NEET but through the IISER admission test or IISER aptitude test. That's what they call it. That's your direct admission into IISER. So these are the various tests that are available at the end of grade 12 for our kids. Now there are some parents who specifically asked me about architecture. Okay, that is not something that I had looked into at all because my son was very clear he wanted to only and only get into IIT. But then since there were quite a few parents in the last 2-3 years that I'm mentoring or helping and they asked me about this, I found out this information. Architecture, the degree is B.Arch and the main exam that you give for it is the NATA. Okay, that's the National Aptitude Test for Architecture. This is the main one, but you can also get into other architecture like the IIT architecture. The IIT also offers architecture and there are some NITs that offer architecture. So that you get in through again a JEE main exam. But the paper is called JEE Main 2A. You will not give the same paper as the engineering kids. And the JEE Advanced, if you want to get into IIT architecture, that's a real tough way because you give JEE Advanced. If you clear it, then you give the AAT, that is the aptitude test in architecture. And then you get into IIT architecture. There are only 2 or 3, I think Roorkee, I've written it here, Roorkee, Kharagpur and BHU that offer B.Arch in IIT. Okay, so this is a tough way. NATA is much easier. So these are the exams for architecture that you have. We'll come to the syllabus also, and once you get to the syllabus, you'll see it's all easy. This is just knowing the exams. Doesn't it go next? There are also some other exams if you want to look at. There is B planning. Yeah, that is what IIT offers. You give that, not IIT, sorry, the mains exam. So you give JEE mains paper 2B. Look at all this information, it's there on the websites. These are planning courses where they're kind of like architecture, but not completely. They're more into building, design, yeah, all of this. Look into all of that if you're interested. The architecture kids can look into this as well. The B planning exam, you have to give a paper called JEE mains paper 2B. Okay, so that will get you into, again, NITs, triple ITs, GFTI, CFTI. These are the national engineering institutes across the country. So this paper gets you into all these engineering institutes for, not for engineering, but for this B planning. Okay. There's also some parents have asked me in the registration specifically, is there any other way of getting into IIT than giving JEE advance? You know, are there any shortcuts? Can we cut corners? So I will say, if you want to do, see, the most prestigious one is getting into IIT through the JEE advanced. Okay, because that gives you the BTech or the BS math, BS chem, BS physics, these degrees of IIT. But you still have 2 courses available in IIT, which are very good. I myself know one of my patients, I think one of Sachindra's patients, not mine, is a kid who is doing B design from IIT. So that's about a designing course, textiles, the buildings, everything. I haven't looked much into it. Please go look into it. It's a B design course at IIT, and the exam you give for it is UCEED. Okay. There is another course that you do at IIT and get a bachelor's degree, and that exam is HSEE, and that course is on humanities and social sciences. So these are all the various different courses that are available in the government institutes or the national institutes. I also told you some private exams, no, in some time ago. Then, of course, there could be some other small private institutes. I'm not looking at it. I'm looking at the major good ones which have stood the test of time. Okay, this is the one that I am looking at today. Now, you don't need to worry about this, though I mentioned it. You don't need to worry because you all are all way, I mean, it's too early, way too early to understand that. But you needed to know a little bit of that to understand what is the syllabus that your children are looking at. Okay, now this is important because you are in IG, and I know that there's a lot of fear. How will we amalgamate or blend into the Indian system? Okay, so now what is the syllabus? Most exams, entrance exams, okay, most entrance exams have the syllabus of CBSE board. Okay, the 11th, 12th, and it's not only 12th, 11th and 12th. So the questions that come in the exam could be from the 11th grade as well as the 12th, which means you will have to study in 11th and 12th both. If the children are looking at cracking Indian entrance exams with good result, they will have to study in 11th and 12th. Okay. So the NEET, the JEE mains, BITSAT, IISc, IISER, you see all this? Now, all these exams have the board CBSE board, that means the NCERT textbooks that are 11th and 12th. And all the classes that you choose, whether it's a big class, whether it's a small class, whether it's a private tutor, they all know this portion, the teachers, and they teach around this. Okay, the base is NCERT textbooks 11th and 12th. Then you have to add on to it, which the classes know how to do it. They have created that syllabus. Okay. Just a minute. Then the JEE Advanced. The JEE Advanced, which gets you into, 1 minute, where did we go? I was at syllabus, sorry. The JEE Advanced also is CBSE board, that is NCERT 11th and 12th, but much more than that. Now, I'm not going to tell you which books, what, you don't need to know that right now, because it's just like your first day of driving and you want to know how to drive a Ferrari. won't work like that. It will only confuse you guys. But just let me tell you that JEE Advanced is much more syllabus than CBSE. They twist the sums in a different way. There's a lot of concept building that happens. So you need to know a lot more. So JEE Advanced gets you into IIT. Remember that. KVPY, which gets you into IIC, is the same. So they have CBSE plus much more. NATA, or the architecture exam, is simpler. Okay, it is similar to NCERT, that is the CBSE 11th, and the CBSE board textbooks are called NCERT. You're going to listen to a lot of this when you come in 11th and 12th. The board is CBSE. The textbooks are called NCERT textbooks. Okay, so NATA also will use that kind of syllabus. But the architecture exams are definitely a notch easier than the engineering exams. NEET will also use CBSE 11th and 12th. Now, remember one major difference that I as a parent, or my son as a child, or from the students that I have taught, a technical teacher will probably give you some other information. But as a parent, if you ask me, what I have understood is NEET, that is the biology. Now, for children who like bio and math, okay, this is especially for those kids. NEET is an exam that is not so difficult if you know how to prepare for it. Okay, so NEET and JEE Main are almost the same level. JEE Advanced is a completely different level. We are not talking about the IITs. But NEET, which gets you into AIIMS and other medical colleges, and JEE Mains are a similar level. The problem with NEET is that because it's just one exam, the competition is tremendous. You understand? What happens with engineering is that you have so many different other exams as well. So it kind of can get a little dilute, not diluted is the wrong word, but diverted. So some kids may only work for BITS Pilani, BITS Gaur, so then they only work for BITSAT. Some kids may only work for Maharashtra state level colleges, so they work only for MHT-CET, and a whole lot work for mains and advanced. But in NEET, you have this only one exam, you know. So in that sense, though the syllabus is not so difficult, the competition is rigorous. So in that sense, they both compare with each other. This is the way I look at it as a parent. Teacher may also give you some more technical differences. NATA, of course, is an easy exam, I told you. Now, MHT-CET is the safest in the lot. Because MHT-CET, that is the Maharashtra state colleges and all our colleges in Bombay, you can get into the VJTI also, and you can get into Hadumal also, you can get into DJ Sanghi, you can get into ICT, which was earlier during our times, if you know, it was known as UDCT. Yeah, extremely good chemical engineering college. So MHT-CET, the syllabus is only 11th and 12th. So if your child wants to prepare for MHT-CET, and if you've made that decision also, then that's very good. And you do not need to struggle as much as JEE Mains or Advanced. And that is choice, you know, that is as per every child's choice. Okay. So this is about, so basically what do you understand about the syllabus? Something very simple is that you have 11th and 12th of CBSE board, which means you have NCERT, which is the main base. Okay. And then on top of the NCERT, if you're looking at the tougher exams like KVPY or, JEE Mains and also JEE Advanced mainly, then you have more than the 11th and 12th of NCERT. Now, so we'll understand. So now your question is, how will we IG kids get into CBSE board? How will we understand that syllabus and blah, blah, blah? Before I start into telling you all this, let me give you a simple example. See, we all learned driving, right? Now, when we learned driving, we might have started on either a Fiat, somebody might have started on a Maruti 800. You understand? I think those are the only two cars 25 years ago, you know, when we were there, or Premier, or whatever. But we could slowly then drive every other car. Understand? So even when I was a mom in 2019, when my child was, in 10th grade, I was thinking, what is this one board to the other board and all that. When my son went through the whole process, I realized that I do not need to fear this whole change at all. Even though the boards are different, and theoretically they will tell you one is application based and the other is rote learning based and all of that. I'm telling you, not only my son, but I've also been mentoring and helping a lot of other children. I have a lot of people within the family before my son, my nephews and cousins, everyone who's gotten into, either through NEET or IIT. These are the main things that the family children are working for. And all children have either been IG, ICSE, mainly ICSE, some have been CBSE. So everybody has told me that this is a very, very big fear, unnecessary fear. So you remember one thing, that though theoretically everything looks different, practically the children are still those 15, 16-year-olds. They still have something similar that they have learned. So it will not be difficult for your child to move from one board to the other if your child has made the decision and your child wants to crack the exams. If where there is a will, there is a way. Simple as that. Okay. So please remember, it is not difficult. Okay. Now we come to the technical parts. In 10th standard, up to 10th standard, the central board is CBSE. In 11th and 12th, it remains that. Okay, CBSE board, which is the main board for entrance exam, not board, which is the main base for even our national entrance exams. The SSC children go into 11th and 12th, which is the HSC board for Maharashtra. Maharashtra kids go from SSC to HSC. So, that integrated that you hear all the time is HSC. Okay. In Bombay, it is HSC. In some colleges, it is CBSE as well. When we come to that, I will explain. Don't worry. Then the ICSC board in 11th and 12th becomes ISC. Okay. And the IG board in 12th becomes A11. Right. And this is where you are. Most of the parents on this group are IG. Again, I'm telling you, all children are 15, 16. All children have a similar amount of information, just slightly different. One is, one model of a car and the other is another. So it is not going to be difficult to switch boards. Take it from me. If your child is studying, it is not going to be difficult to switch boards. Okay. In fact, they are coming into an easier board, if at all. The IG kids are coming into an easier board. Even the ICSE are coming into an easier board if you take the integrated. CBSE are where they are. Okay. And SSC is coming to HSC, which is where they are. But I will definitely tell you one thing, and that is that if your kids want to prepare for the entrances, yeah, like the JEE, like the NATA, like NEET, like MHT, everything that I told you, please, please, please choose integrated. What is integrated? I'll explain. Integrated is either CBSE or HSC, and more HSC in Bombay. Okay, it's less of CBSE, more of HSC. Please choose that format. Today morning, I had 2 calls from 2 parents whose children are already in ISC science. And they said that we want to prepare for IIT. And my heart was sinking because I thought, when you have ISC board, which is against the ICSE. Now, ICSE and IG are very, very exhaustive boards, very, very, vast. So that child cannot prepare for IIT. You cannot burden the child. So I told the parent, please, I'm giving you the right advice, classes or this one, nobody will be able to tell you because they don't want to hurt you. But let me be very open and frank. Stop the dream of IIT and JEE and everything. Do your ISC well and see where that can take you. You understand? So again, I'm coming to, you are still in 9th and 10th, you have a lot of time. If you want to go for the Indian national exams, please choose your integrated. And it's very easy. You don't have to use your brains because the classes you choose will always give you the option of integrated with some other college. So Mumbaikars love to make life easy, no? So that's how it is. So you don't have to worry. Okay. Now, what is this? CBSE board is equal to NCERT textbooks. Now, some parents also ask me that if CBSE is the main base, why doesn't the child do CBSE board? Why do you want to do HSE? Yeah, there are two reasons for that. Integrated with CBSE board, that option is not there in Bombay, many colleges. I think there's hardly one or two. Podar has it. And there's one other college somewhere far away from Villapagle, Juhu, which has it. So the option that you have in integrated is HSC. You understand? So those CBSE, you will say that 11, 12 maybe CBSE padna hai. And entrance exams ke liye, it's more than CBSE. It's not only CBSE, it's way more than that. But it's similar. So why would I want to change? I mean, why would I want to put in integrated or anything? The only thing is there is no CBSE integrated. There are very few which give you that option. Okay. So you prefer to go with the HSE. Somebody has asked me about IB board. Now, I'm not going to talk about IB at all today because IB is completely, please do, you cannot look at IB board and Indian national exams, which the two don't meet. You understand? So if you're looking at IB board, then do it that way and then go abroad. Or look at some Indian universities that choose that. You understand? But do not go into Indian national exams. You will just unnecessarily trouble your child. That is my feeling. Yeah, some other parent may have another feeling. You can take that option. So if you're looking at going abroad, then IG, IB, these are good boards to continue in 11th and 12th. If you're staying back in India, then a better board is either CBSE or HSE. And if you're giving the science entrance exams, which I'm talking about, then integrated. And because integrated has more options of HSE, I'm saying go with HSE. You get my point? Okay. Now, let us look at the difficulty level of the exams just a little bit and then understand the integrated and how IG will amalgamate in there. See, the difficulty level of exams, remember all the private colleges, all their entrance exams will be easy. On the medical side, on the, what is this? Engineering side, architecture side, whatever. Whatever private college entrances you have, they are very easy. Okay. You can find a lot of counselors who can help you with that. I am not good with that because I didn't look at private college entrances. Okay. Maharashtra state level is in between. So the MHT-CET, pharmacy as well as MHT-CET, engineering and all that, this is in the middle. And then the NEET, main and BIT-SAT, this is the toughest in the lot out of these three. You understand? I'm going from easy to tough. So you can choose which one you want to give and where you want to go after 12th grade. Accordingly, you will have to study. The toughest are KVPY, JEE Advanced and Olympiads. These are, let us not talk about it. They are that tough. But when I say let us not talk about it, I don't mean it like that. If you want to give these, then we have to take another session. And anyways, you're too early for that. I'm just giving you the whole picture right now. Okay. So KVPY, JEE Advanced and Olympiads are the extremely tough. And they need much more portion than the NCERT. Don't worry that your classes and the teachers you choose will be able to help you with all of this. Most of the times what happens is that the classes have a curriculum which covers this and the mains. Now you understand one thing right here. I'll just diverse a little bit. Classes create a syllabus that basically explains your JEE Advanced, JEE Main, and BIT-SAT. All this, they create a kind of a curriculum which takes care of everything. Yeah. And there are different levels of booklets that they have. And the children then choose, the children see how they go through 11th and 12th, and then you decide by the end of it what level you can take, okay, depending on how much effort you have put in. So the classes have this whole thing and they explain it to you and they teach you accordingly. Anyways, for JEE Advanced, KVPY or all of these, The basics are the same. So the classes will start with building your fundamental, which can be used for every exam. Even for the NEET children, remember, the classes will start with fundamentals that can be helped for 11th and 12th boards, fundamentals that can be helped for all the exams. And then they start increasing the level of difficulty. Okay. So this was the level of exams that I wanted to tell you, which one is tougher than which one. The exams now, what are your fears? The next fear is, how is my child going to give 11th and 12th exam and give an entrance exam, and he's come from IG board. How does all this fit in? Okay. So the first thing that I told you is exams of the 12th grade, the syllabus is almost equal to entrance exam syllabus. Remember one thing, the syllabus is similar. In fact, the syllabus is much lesser than the entrance exams. Okay, remember that. Now, if the syllabus is less, then it automatically means that if your child is studying well, they will be able to give the 11th, 12th also. They will not be, it's not the Uttar Dakshin. It's not that the classes for entrance exams are teaching Sanskrit and the board exam is Mandarin. No. The classes are teaching Sanskrit and the board exam is Hindi, Devanagari, Marathi. You understand? So these are all languages come out from Sanskrit. Now you get my point? So if your child is studying regularly in 11th and 12th, then the exams of the 12th grade are not going to be difficult for the child. Now I'll give you one simple example. Yeah, my son was so he was not in an integrated college. He was in a regular college. He was from Vidyanidhi. Okay. But because we were in the COVID times, what happened is that they hardly had to go to college. Okay. Almost nothing. And we had a class. Okay. And by 12th grade, yeah, so in 12, he gave his 12th in 2022 March. Okay, March or April, that was March was the time he gave his 12th grade. Okay, now he spent only 1 month from February to March. I remember he spent 20 days, 25 days rote learning the entire 12th grade HSC textbooks for his HSC exams, and he came out with a 94.8 or something. He topped the Vidyanidhi College Science Division. Okay. And I am not saying that it was a very great feat or something. What I'm trying to say is that and he's not copied, he's not done anything like that. Absolutely not, because he's a kind, he can't copy, he just can't do that. So, and very easily, in fact, when he came out of his physics paper and in everything, he's got like 99. The only reason he got 94.8 is because his marks were less in English. English, he had something like 79, 80. In math, computer science, physics, chem, everything was 99, 98, 99. Okay. And he very clearly told me at the end of the exams that, Mama, it was not difficult. That 1 month was enough for me to get this. And if he can do it, everybody can. Okay. So again, I'm coming to, and like that, there are many examples. Okay. My son is not the only one. So coming back to 11th and 12th, you will be able to do whichever board. He was from ICSE, he moved to HSC. Okay. IG can also move. The only problem is, I agree, 11th and 12th, the children will have to rote learn. Okay. So that last month or last 2 months before the exam, if they rote learn, that's good enough. Why does it go back? Okay. Remember one thing, the style is different. The style is the entrance exams on the same portion are application and formula based sums, and the exams are more rote learning, definition, deriving proofs and theorems. That is the difference. But that 1 or 2 months is enough. So please do not worry that your child will, some parents have this worry, oh, but the exams need above 50%, above 80%. If your child is studying even 70-80% of the portion he will be able to score. That is my guarantee, because I have seen it happen with my son. Okay. Now, also another thing is HSC and CBSE have almost a similar syllabus. HSC syllabus has drastically improved now. So this is all the same as integrated. HSC, CBSE have the same syllabus. Okay. Another thing, I'll come to bridge course and IG also. Just hear this out. MHT-CET exams are also easier. So supposing you move to integrated and you just want a Bombay Engineering College, then it's not so difficult. You understand? Because the MHT-CET exams are based on 11th, 12th board. Your 11th, 12th board is 11th, 12th board, the regular HSC board from integrated. So where is your doubt? It is not so difficult. You get me? And remember another thing, that the NEET, of course, you can give much more than 2 years now. Okay, so NEET you can give several times, and JEE mains in advance you can give twice. So for example, let's say this is year 2023. So let's say your child is right now in 11th grade. Your child can give the JEE, NEET and all this in 2025. He's eligible, he or she is eligible for that. But they are also eligible to give it in 2026. And for NEET, they are eligible for more times also. Okay. So what happens is, there are a lot of children at the moment in Swayamj's campus at IIT B who are actually a year older than him, because they took a break and they gave the 11th, 12th CBSE board and everything. And then that extra year, they studied hard to get a better rank in JEE. So you also have that option. I am not saying that you need to use that option, but you have it. Okay. So this whole fear of change of boards should not bother you if your child is regular and does at least 60 to 80% of studies. Now, if you don't study, then it is not possible. But if you study a little bit, it is possible. And again, I'm saying that the studies are not 11th and 12th are rote learning, but the studies of math, chemistry, physics, and biology of NEET and JEE are not rote learning. There are a lot of concept building. I've seen my child do it and I've seen other children do it. There are a lot of concept building, decision making, skills. But then you have to have the love for that subject. Because if you don't have the love for that subject, you can't sit for hours together. Okay? So remember that. I'm just repeating myself. I've already told you what is integrated, but just very quickly repeating myself. See what happened, no? I think this is the way it was. In other states of India, yeah, they had, see, CBSE itself was the entrance exam board. You understand? So the schools would teach 11th and 12th, and the schools would then teach for the entrance exam. So that was the integrated course. Okay. Now in Bombay, we don't have CBSE, we have a HSC. So the classes, what they did is, they connected with colleges that made life easier. Children do not have to, go for too many practicals or too much of attendance or English and Hindi and, all those extra vocational courses. The children are given leeway because they are studying for their entrance exam. So the classes affiliated with such simple colleges, which allow this kind of a, arrangement. And this is what is integrated. Okay, as simple as that. Then there are some big classes which have their own college. So you don't have to, worry about attendance and things like that. So the child enrolls in the entrance exam course, and along with that also finishes the classes and then college exams, and gives his 11th and 12th through that class which has its own college. You get me? So the chotu classes, the smaller classes which do not have the capacity to have their own college, will affiliate with smaller HSC colleges. The bigger classes who have the finance and the infrastructure will create their own college. because we Mumbaikars may like to make life easy, as I said, right? So there's nothing wrong with having an integrated. Now I'll tell you what is the benefit. See, I've seen my child go through that regular Vidyanidhi college. Of course, it was only in the last bit, and the college was amazing. The teachers were extremely helpful. I tell you, I love those teachers. And, even today they call me when there's an event, just recently I was called as a chief guest. Yeah, and not because of me, but because of my son. I love that college. But I also feel as a parent, now see, my child is a studious child. He loves to study. He loves to do, that is his problem. But if you ask me as a parent, then I feel if I could have eased his burden, it would have been better. You understand? So what happens with an integrated course is that the college homework, the college attendance, the college, lecture series, and those inter tests, all those, what do you call those, unit tests and all that, that is taken care of. And your child gets enough breathing space to prepare for entrance exams. Because remember, I told you entrance exams, the Indian entrance exams are way tougher than every other exam in the world. Remember that. The JEE Advanced, when JEE Advanced children have their exam, I forget the name of this professor. There's an MIT professor who comes on YouTube to wish the kids every year for the JEE Advanced. And JEE Advanced questions, question papers, and book syllabus is used by professors all over the world in some of the best institutes, because that tough is the exam. Also, JEE Main, NEET, these are tough exams, and they are not rote learning. They are extremely concept building, and they are good exams. So if your child is preparing for that, you don't want to burden him with 11th, 12th study. You understand? So make it easy for the child by putting him in an integrated. Most practical. Yeah, I just finished it. See, this is, the clock is ticking. So make it more practical for your child. Yeah, this is how I look at it. Now this is one thing that's the, what do you say, boiling question for all the IG parents, especially right now in 9th and 10th grade. There are three things that you're thinking of. There is a foundation course that some classes give you. There is a bridge course that some classes give you. And there is Olympiads that some classes prepare for. Which are the Olympiads that are the good ones? I'll tell you. NSO, IMO. IMO is the Indian Maths Olympiad. This is the National Science Olympiad. The NTSC, which is the National Scholarship Exam, and Homi Baba. Okay. So if your child in IG board is interested in science and you do want to see how far he can go, or if he is extremely good, because I tell you what, these are very tough exams, mind you, right? But you can try and prepare for these if you want to. This will give him a taste of what is going to come. In fact, I would say they are tougher than what is going to come to. Kids, if they can crack NSO and IMO and at a very high level of those Olympiads, for them cracking IIT is like this. You understand? So this is those Olympiads. The bridge course is and foundation course is what I will talk about. More than foundation, for the IG people need is the bridge course. Okay. Now, why do you have the bridge course? The bridge course is only because in the science and the physics and the chemistry, bio, all this is okay. It's the children can easily move from one to the other, one board to the other. Some children, and I'm again telling you only some children, not all, find it difficult to move from IG to CBSE board. So, 1 minute, Smita. Chai karke dena garam, please, microphone. The children find it difficult because, see, in IG, you don't use calculators, right? Then certain math topics, like I've just put it down, approximations, calculation without involving powers. Yeah, that's tough. Polynomials. There are some others also, algebraic identities. some of these things have not been introduced to the IG kids, or probably not in the way that comes in the JEE main and NEET, JEE main, NEET and JEE advanced. Okay. Now NEET is slightly different. We'll not talk about NEET right now. First, the bridge course is mainly for children who want to do engineering rather than NEET. Let me put it like that. This is the way I look at it. Yeah, some other parent may have another idea. But bridge course is mainly for children who want to do engineering. Now, because these mathematical certain things and especially calculators are with the IG kids, and because the other things have not been introduced, the children sometimes find it difficult to switch to the integrated or the CBSE or the Indian national exams. I myself am in touch with 2 kids, yeah, because they came to me last year, like after my son, they are now in their 12th grade. So they came to me last year, they were in 11th, and they wanted to prepare for JEE advanced. And one is a girl, the other is a boy. IG school kids, superb and brilliant in math and science, which is why they chose IIT. That's what they want to prepare for. Both kids have neither done bridge course nor anything else. The kids are already chosen in the top 15 batch of the class that they are in. They're extremely good, but I think they are gifted kids. Let me be very frank. Yeah. So again, I'm saying that not every kid may want a bridge course. Yeah. Then there are some IG kids who say that they didn't thank you, beta. There are some IG kids who are telling me that they don't need, and some say that it is good if you do this. So I would leave it to you what you want to do, but this is what the bridge course offers, and probably a lot more that the classes will tell you which offer the bridge course. That is all the technical details. But if you want to, you can go for the bridge course. Foundation course, acha, now before I go to foundation, say bridge course, you know, some classes may give you the option of bridge course for an entire year. Some classes may give you the option of just a short course of 10 days or 5 days. Okay. Finally, what I have understood, yeah, from whatever I have seen and seen the kids go through, that the maximum of 5 to 10 classes of 3 to 4 hours, see this first point that I have written, is enough. And then I've also spoken to some other very good teachers of engineering, NEET and all this, and they said this much is enough. Okay. However, some classes do stretch it to a little longer time. Now that depends from class to class. And you know, the other thing is, for some kids, sometimes it's very good to be in the habit throughout the year. Yeah. So I think I will leave it from parent to parent, but a maximum of this much if you do, then you are good to go. Supposing you don't do it, but you have the will to learn, you are still good to go. So I leave it to you, but these are the positive points of the bridge course. The NEET, now we come to NEET. The kids who want to do NEET, whether it is IG board, ICSC board, SSC board, whatever. Okay. Also, I would say CBSE board, whatever. The kids of all these boards, it's, see, NEET does not have math, but the physics has a lot of math. Similar with engineering exams also, the JEE, the math and physics are literally interrelated. Even the chemistry sometimes I feel had more of math than chemistry. You understand? So coming back to the NEET kids, the physics that they have is quite tough. It is of the level of JEE main. And that physics does require some amount of math to be clarified. So with NEET kids, I would say some amount of basic math courses needed. So if you are looking for NEET, then when you choose your classes, ask them how do they incorporate this. Some class may say that we incorporate in the physics class itself. Some may say we do a special different course. That we'll have to look into. It's too early right now in 9th to talk about that. Or you may try to find that some classes actually offer for children who want to take up NEET later in 10th grade a basic course. So that is also an option. So this is for the NEET going kids of any board. This is not IG. This is IG, ICSE, CBSE, SSE, everyone I would suggest. And bridge course is more for children who want to go for engineering. More technical details the classes can give you, but you can choose. There are some kids who actually, I tell them, prepare for Olympiads instead. So there are some classes that may give you the help to prepare for Olympiads. Like there was a mother who came to me and she said the kid is much younger in 8th grade. And she said, but he has a great aptitude for math and science. And he loves, doing these courses. There are some preparatory courses from 7th, 8th onwards in all the engineering classes. So she said he loves that. And do you think that will help him in his JEE advanced? I said, I don't know. But you ask those classes and help him prepare for Olympiads. Because what happens is, when you prepare for Olympiads, they actually, see, Olympiads don't prepare you for JEE advanced. Remember that. They are in fact much tougher also. But Olympiads prepare you for thinking out of the box. They prepare you for the skills needed for the NEET and JEE advanced. You understand? So they prepare you for the, the twisted nature of questions, time management of questions, thinking out of the box, how to solve this question from which angle. So I have seen that a lot of teachers tell me that Olympiads help you with that preparation. So but I will tell you one, please, if your kid is average, if your kid is not super good with math and science, don't push them for Olympiads. He will feel disheartened. He will not like it. So for example, my kid, I did not push him. He did NTSC, then he cleared the first level. He did Homi Baba, he cleared the 2 levels. But I did not push him for Olympiads because I didn't feel that he had that much of an inclination for, math and science, you understand, at that time. But in 10th, by the end of 9th, he was very sure he wanted to crack, and then he cracked. So another very, very important point, parents, is that if you do not want to get your child in 9th and 10th to do any of this foundation or bridge or whatever, it is okay. It is totally okay. If they want to do their engineering, if they want to get into these good colleges in India, even if they start from 11th, they will still be able to make it. If you feel that the child has the potential, likes doing math and science, and you still have time on hand and you want to do it, then please go ahead and do it. So I would say it is from parent to parent, but neither foundation nor bridge is compulsory. I will also say that neither foundation nor bridge gives the child an edge over others who have not done it. Please remember this very much clearly. There were children with Swayamj who had done foundation from 8th grade, with different classes. There were some kids who had done all this kind of, fancy Sunday classes in 8th and 9th with some, with classes. They had done these math and science with some classes. And to begin with in 11th, they were ahead of Swayamj in the exams. And, come the mid of 11th and the end of 11th, and also, no, sorry, not mid, come the end of 11th and then slowly to the mid of 12th, Swayamj was way ahead. The reason being, those kids had kind of, see, they were good at math and science, but they did not have that intention to work that hard. You understand? Or maybe they just got tired and they wanted a different system or whatever. And then Swayamj was way ahead. And his teachers would always tell me, every time when I met the teachers, they would say, ma'am, please don't look at this exam. Don't look at the immediate. We have 2 years. The final entrance exams are at the end of 2 years. We have to see how consistent the child is for 2 years. You understand? So again, I'm telling you that if you miss the bus, it's okay. The intention has to be there but that has to be there from the beginning of 11th. Immediately after 10th, you have to start. The intention is very, very important. Yeah. So that was about bridge. Now, Do I see in the chat any other questions? I think all the questions that I had seen in the registration forms and all, I have tried to answer all of that. Let me see in my PowerPoints, is there any other information that is left? What time is it? Oh my goodness, we are going. Just give me a second. Why doesn't this go to the next slide? How to choose a class. Oh, this is some very important information that I must give you. Okay, also for bridge course and what is that, foundation course and all of that, I would say one more thing. It also depends on the teacher who's teaching the child and how much they are teaching. Are they fooling you or are they really teaching you what is needed? Yeah, so that is also a very important thing to keep in mind. Now, how to choose a class? Acha, one more thing. In 9th and 10th, if you think that to get marks, yeah, the children will be diverted and that's why I'm not doing foundation or bridge course, then that is a wrong thing. There is enough time in 9th and 10th to do everything else and to get extremely good marks in your 10th boards. Okay. My son was also doing a million other things in 10th standard. He gave NTSC in 10th. He gave Homi Baba in 9th. Along with NTSC, he did a lot of guitar performances. You know, at some point, we were very sure he would go into music. I don't know where this IIT thing got into his mind. So, you know, so he had done a lot of events in 10th grade. He had done a lot of other exams. He had also done some basic, not foundation, but we had done private classes with some math and science teachers to see how he likes. And then he did all of that. And in 10th, he got 98.6. And not just my son, there are many kids like that. So I'm telling you from experience, okay? So children get time to do a lot. You have to plan well. Now, how to choose a class? I would say right now is a very good time for all you parents to come together. Okay, you have enough time. You're in 9th, right? You have enough time. Like how, you know, Saloni got me, you know, she said, I'll get a group and you can all listen. And that's why you came to listen to me. Like this, create a group, okay? And have a group orientation with many different classes so that you come to know the benefit of each class and you come to know what is good with everyone. Okay, so create a group like how you've created this group. Yeah, you can get in touch with me also because I had done. So why I'm telling you this is during my time with Swayamj, this is what I had done. We created a group of all the mothers who were interested in this, mothers and fathers. And then I would, you know, my friend, I have another close friend, she and I, we would take this group to all the different classes and we would have our orientations with them. And then each parent chose a different class depending on the best fit for them. So this is the time now for 2 years to invest, and very quickly now you have some time, invest in having group orientations with different classes. I can connect you to them if you want. So you can also find it online. You don't need me for that. Take a senior, and the group orientation is not enough. Then you do your private thinking of what you want. Yeah. Then please take a senior parent review of that class. Do not put your child in because 10 other kids are going in. Okay. 11th and 12th, you don't need friends. You need time to study and you need good teachers. Now, it's not that you don't need friends. If you're preparing for the Indian national exams, you don't have time for friends. So you would rather choose a class which is good, which is a good fit for your child, and he will make his friends there. So see what fits you. Take a senior parent review. Please ask that class, you give me 2 to 3 good parents whom I can talk to about your class. Okay. And also look at not just the newspaper bonds of that class. What do I mean? See, every class will give you some very fantastic newspaper bonds. You know that this one got this rank and this one got this rank and this one got this rank. I would suggest ask the class, what do you do with your weak students? What do you do with your average students? What do you do for all the children? Everybody is not going to be Sundar Pichai. Everybody is not going to be Elon Musk. Everybody is not going to be rank 1 NEET or JEE. You know, but there are many others who still have space in the college, who still get what they want. So what do you do for all the children, not just for the rankers? and how do you take care of them? So this is very, very important. See, I think this is a business where teachers keep changing, from one class to the other. So there's not much you can do about it. Now, what is the difference between big, small, and class? Small class is what one parent had asked me. I would say take orientation from everybody. You have time right now, do it. Create this group, and every Saturday, Sunday, this is what we did as parents. We would go and I would talk to the different heads of different classes, and then we would create this group, and every Saturday, Sunday, we would do this with a small class as well as a big class. Now, big names have better system of examination, which is extremely important. Remember, very important, how your child is being assessed in these 2 years for the national exams. So they have better system of exams. They are very prompt. They send timely notes, timely updates. They're very good with that. They help you with filling forms. They will see, there are so many exams. I was wondering when Swayamj came in 11th, I was thinking, oh God, now I'll have to constantly be online to keep track of which exam is when. So big classes, it's very good. They will only give you all the information. They'll send you the notifications. Everything is very, very systematic. But you have to check if they're going to pay attention to your child, if he is going to be an average child. See, every child has a potential to do something, if not a ranker, but the child has a potential to get into engineering, to get into medical, to do what they want in life. So are they going to take care of that bit? That you have to please check with a big class. With a small class, what happens is that the exams, the notifications, all that is a bit chaotic. That's not very well managed because they don't have the finances or the infrastructure of a big class. But they may actually be able to have a very one-to-one bond with your child. And maybe your child may like that. I am not saying that big is better than small or small is better than big. Yeah, I am only trying to say that find the right fit. And to find the right fit, you will have to go and meet a lot of different ones, have these sessions. A group orientation is good because you can understand the doubts of many other parents, doubts that you didn't have, some other parent may have, and clarify something for you also. So group is good, but then also do the private, as I said. I think this I already checked. Now, I'll tell you one very important thing, parents. I know this is a little bit of gyan, but I have to give it. I will not look at, so when we started learning, when we started this journey for IIT or for JEE Advanced, which is what my son wanted, when we started this journey, we were not looking at the results at the end of 12th. Of course, you work for the exam, you work for the result, and he's finally gotten where he wanted to. But I tell you, he told me this, and there is a video, I'm going to forward it to all of you. There's a video of him speaking about his journey of the last 2 years. There are a couple of videos. He made one video at the end of 10th grade about how to be successful in 10th grade. And then he made one after 12th. And this is his words, this is not mine. Yeah. What he enjoyed in the 2 years, he said to me, I have learned discipline. I have learned how to be regular. I have learned self-control. And I have learned to get up from my failures. This is very important because, up to 10th with your IG, ICSE, HSC, SSC, I tell you, the boards are so easy, whatever they are. We kind of over pamper our kids and think that it's difficult. Everything is given to them on a platter. And whenever they score like 98, 97, 96 out of 100, whether they have learned it or not. I feel that, the marks that are given nowadays is like, chane ke bhav mein marks are given. You come to 11th, 12th entrance exams, and you see how tough it is. And my son learned to fail because till 10th, he was always a topper. There was no question. He learned to fail in 10th. When you give those rigorous exams and all this for preparing for the entrance, he told me, Mama, this is the first time I learned how to fail and how to get up from my failures. I learned how to be persistent. There would be times he would tell his teacher, Sir, ye physics ka sum, I can't get it till 1 hour. The sir said, very good, sit for 2 hours. And then he said, what? Is he crazy? 6 months after that, he tells his juniors, You can't sit for, I can't get it in 1 hour, sit for 2 hours, you will get it. So I don't think we looked at the 11th and 12th. Now, whether you give SAT, whether you give entrance exams, whether you give MHT-CET, NEET, mains, I don't care. But the way you look at that exam is that you are going to learn a lot of life lessons. And this is how all three of us, my husband, my son, and me, we looked at it in 11th and 12th. And I think that helped us a lot. I loved the sentence that he told me. These are his words. He said, you learn life lessons. Yeah. I wanted to see if I could survive this tough competition, and I did. I love concept building. I got that. And he says, I may not be a full ranker, like rank 1, He said, I may not, but he still got a very good rank to get into IITB. So he says, it's not about being a ranker. It is about being a winner, mama. And I think that's very, very important that you look at the journey like that, whether you give SAT, whether you give, I don't know, you give, the JEE, the NEET, whatever. You have to be a winner through this 11th and 12th, whichever way you look at it. Competitive, just last few things. Yeah. I think this is not needed today. Find this time of 9th and 10th to build a bond with your child. This will be needed tremendously in 11th and 12th because they are not going to have friends. They are going to be studying. They are going to be needing you more. So build that time. I'm going to send this videos. These are just videos of Swayamj talking, more than me. I think it's interesting to hear it from the horse's mouth. So both his videos is 10th and 12th. I will send them to you. This is our contact number. So please take it down. And whatever questions you have, I think I've answered most of them that you had put on the registration chat as well as now. Is there anything that I have missed? Let me check in the other. So, and then there are some private things you may want to ask me about your child or whatever, then please look at this phone number and ask me there. Somebody has asked, is it beneficial for IG foundation? See, I explained you everything. I would say bridge course is more beneficial. If you want to do foundation, because your child has the time, you want him to be exposed to this long hours, you want him to be exposed to the concept of sitting for hours and doing these kind of questions, then again, I'll say, go ahead with it. But if you don't do it, you don't have the time, it's totally fine. Okay. There are also some teachers who privately do a little bit of foundation or teach you this kind of sums and get you accustomed. So it totally depends from parent to parent course. What kind of engineering courses are in trend? That's a very good question. I think, so I'll tell you what, of course, computer science is one which is very much in demand. And most parents look at computer science courses. I also want to tell you one important thing, that there are some, people who ask me, what about artificial intelligence course and what are the new ones? I don't know, something like that. Data science courses and things like that. See, these are very, these first of all are not given by the regular engineering colleges. Remember that. Okay. These are some new colleges or some new thing that have started. Very few. I think there's one IIT which has started something, IIT, two IITs that have started a very interesting course. But then again, for that, you have to go through JEE Advanced. The point is, don't go for very niche courses right now. The reason is then your child is stuck with that. You understand? Always don't think about the courses and which engineering you want to get into right now. Don't think about that. Think about the basic that you want to get into engineering, okay? Or you want to go the PCM line and what is needed for that. As you're studying your PCM, you will yourself realize whether you want to get into chemistry, whether you want to get into physics, mechanical, yeah, aeronautical, whatever. That leave it for a much later stage. do not think about it now. Can you help me with where I can get the bridge courses? I will just look into this because I also want to find out which classes give the good bridge courses. So let me look into it and I will get back on this thing. Just give me a minute. It is my cook. Yeah. Okay. I think we are done. This was, so I also have a trust. This is just the last thing that I do want to tell you, that the reason I'm doing all of this or any other charity, my husband and I already have a trust, which is called the acclaimed Homeopathic Foundation. It's a homeopathic trust, not only into homeopathy, but into regular education, medical education, and of course, trying to help the underprivileged through medication. In COVID times, we had helped people a lot, about 50,000. Yeah, so this is the kind of work we just tell him, give me 5 minutes, I'm ending the meeting anyways. This is the this is the type of work we have been doing for years now. In COVID times, we helped about 50,000 people across the country. And there were some people who said, why don't you charge for the events that you do? See, I do not want to put any kind of charges because I am doing this more as a philanthropic effort. I went through a journey, and for me, it is very fulfilling. For both my husband and me, it's very fulfilling if somebody else learns out of this journey. Yeah. So I've been doing all these webinars and everything from homeopathic medication and from homeopathic education. I shifted a little bit to helping parents. So I have just been doing all of this completely out of passion and out of my desire to help all you young parents. If you do want to donate or if you do want to help, then please donate to my trust. I don't need anything. Give it to the trust. The trust also gives you all, we give you the ATG certificate for exemption of taxes. If you ever want to give anything, then you can get in touch with us on our numbers or email ID and we'll give you the details. I hope that this has helped all of you. Give you some idea about the Indian exams, the national exams. And I really look forward to seeing all your children excel in whatever they choose. Yeah. So I think we need to.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Bhavisha. This was so insightful. I'm sure everybody must have enjoyed the session, learned so many things, which are so overwhelming when people just keep throwing, terms, integrated, bridge course, JEE main, JEE advanced. Half of us don't even understand what they're talking. At least now we have the power of knowing, choosing, finding out more and being prepared for it, should our children decide to do any of these courses. So thank you so much. All the very best to you and Swayamj as well. And thank you once again.
Okay, most welcome and wish you all the best, all of you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm just ending the meeting now. Bye, everyone.